Hey guys, welcome back to MUSC Red Devils NCR. Today we are joined by Sayam Bhai and Delvin Bhai, and today we are going to be talking about United's midfield and how Ten Hag can use these refurbished midfield options for Manchester United. We've got Casemiro now, we've got Eriksen now, we've got a whole new look for Fred now since the Ralph Rangnick reign, and we are going to be discussing a few things about them. So दिल्ली से सैम भाई है मेरे साथ. तो सैम भाई, क्या ख्याल है आपके इन मिडफील्ड ऑप्शंस पे?
Yeah, basically, midfield. Finally, we have got a DM after a long time. So I think उसका place cemented है. Casemiro का place तो cemented है. अब we have Casemiro is the type of player we always wanted. कि if he is there, we don't need any other private player with him. ठीक है? ऐसा player हमें हमेशा से जरूरत थी. So what we can try with him is that 1 DM and 2 AM, Eriksen and Bruno. This is what I will go with, especially against low blocks. यही होना चाहिए because we need two players to create for our wingers, to create for our center forwards. And if we look at the top 6 teams, so top 6 के against, I will prefer Casemiro and Fred along with Bruno or Eriksen.
All right. And मुंबई से मेरे साथ जुड़े हुए हैं डेल्विन भाई. तो भाई, आपका क्या कहना है इस बारे में?
I would obviously agree with same by. So we were planning to switch to a 4-3-3 under Ole after the season we finished second. I had also touched upon this in a previous video of us when Casemiro had just signed. So the arrival of Casemiro means that हमारे पास एक ऐसा DM है जो proactive है and not reactive. So उसको as a lone DM खेलने का experience है from his time in Porto as well as in Real Madrid. So Casemiro as the lone DM, that's for sure. In front of him, we can play a multiple amount of options. Like we can play Fred and Bruno. We can play Fred and Eriksen. We can play Eriksen as well as Bruno. But I would prefer Fred and Bruno. Fred, why? Because Fred can pick those short passes very well, even if his passing range is not that high and not that good. But Fred manages to keep those short passes sticking very well. And also, there is a very increased need for a left-footed midfielder in our side. We have a left-footed defender in Lisandro Martinez. We've been crying out for a left-footed defender since Rojo. Now we need a left-footed defender. It gives us an entirely different dimension, and it can also be those two midfielders ahead of Casemiro that gives us a cushion. Like and Bruno always is the type of high risk, high reward player, and Fred understands him. And with Fred understanding him, so we have 3 players who know each other's games very well at this point in time. So for me, it would be Casemiro, Fred, and Bruno.
All right. And just now हमारे साथ हादी जुड़ चुके हैं from Delhi. I think he's still in the process of connecting. So while he does that, we will quickly move on to the next topic, which is कि एक बात बताओ यार, ओले के टाइम पे एंड इवन अंडर राल्फ रैनिक ऐसा देखा गया है टाइम एंड अगेन कि फ्रेड मैकटोमिने का पिवट होता है एंड people say that they are defensive midfielders collectively, 2 for the price of 1, or they are center midfielders number 8s. Jose Mourinho even touted McTominay to play further high up the line and called him a very considerable attacking threat. तो आप लोगों का क्या कहना है इस बारे में कि फ्रेड और मैकटोमिने की असली पोजीशंस हैं क्या? एंड इन दिस एरिक टेन हाग सिस्टम, इवन इफ वी डोंट यूज देम इन द प्रीमियर लीग, तो उनको जिन भी गेम्स में स्टार्ट किया जाए, कप गेम्स हो गए, जो भी गेम्स हो गए, तो किस पोजीशंस पे उनको खिलाना चाहिए आप लोगों के हिसाब से? क्या होना चाहिए? तो सैम भाई, कम टू यू फर्स्ट.
ओके, सी बेसिकली फ्रेड का जो रोल, अगर हम में से किसी ने शाख्तार के गेम उसके देखे हो, तो फ्रेड का जो बेसिक रोल है वो इन एंड अराउंड द बॉक्स है. ही इज वेरी गुड, ही वाज वेरी गुड विद हिज फ्री किक्स, ही वाज सेट पीस स्पेशलिस्ट फॉर देम, डेड बॉल स्पेशलिस्ट, सो वी कॉल. Basically, he is very good in and around the box. He used to pick up those passes. Don't know what's happened him when since he came here, but he was good at picking passes. Short passes अभी भी इसके बहुत अच्छे हैं. Passing range उसका बहुत deplete हो गया है. If we compare him from his Shakhtar, stint. So what I would say is, see, I won't comment anything on McTominay. McTominay is a day's player. If his day is good, he'll play well. If his day is bad, he will be horrendous. He will be absolutely horrendous. So, and Fred is a type of player who will give everything. No matter if his day is going bad, he will give you everything in the midfield. आप उसको बोलो कि इसको तोड़ देना है तो वो जाके तोड़ेगा, चाहे जो हो जाए, रेड ले ले, लेकिन उस प्लेयर को वो जाके तोड़ेगा. तो ही इज लाइक अ प्लेयर विच कैन बी डिप्लॉयड एज पर द सिस्टम. आज आपको ऐसे खेलना है तो फ्रेड को आप बताओ, फ्रेड वैसा काम करेगा, सिर्फ वही करेगा, उसके अलावा कुछ नहीं करेगा. तो ही इज अ टाइप ऑफ प्लेयर हु लिसन्स टू द मैनेजर.
True, very true. So before I come to Delvin bhai, I'll just like to quickly check in with Hadi. Hadi, are you connected now? Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm connected. Hello.
Okay, so welcome to the video. थोड़ा लेट आया आप, but कोई बात नहीं. So what are your
बिल्कुल एंथनी की तरह आ गया मैं.
हाँ, deadline day पे. So what are your views on United's midfield? What do you make of Casemiro, Eriksen, the new arrivals, and if I may ask you the latest question also, what are your views on Fred and McTominay? What is the future for them now at United?
ओके, तो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम यूनाइटेड मिडफील्ड, अभी मेरे को इसका कोई सेंस बनता मेरे लिए नहीं लग रहा है. वो जब जैसे जैसे गेम्स होंगे एंड एज वी प्रोग्रेस एंड एज वी डेवलप मिडफील्ड पार्टनरशिप, तभी थोड़ा पिक्चर क्लियर होगा. बिकॉज अभी वी स्टिल हैव न्यूज कि वी आर नॉट कम्प्लीटली आउट ऑफ फ्रैंकी डे जॉन्ग. And if we are not out of Frankie De Jong, and let's assume for 1 second that Frankie De Jong comes, then this midfield becomes a very big mess for me. That how are you going to set in so many players? पहले ये था कि अपने पास DMF ही नहीं हो रहा है, और अब DMF ही भर चुका है. इतना भरा हुआ है DMF, किसको कहाँ खिलाओगे? सेकेंडली, डॉनी वैन डर बीक मेरे ओपिनियन में बहुत बढ़िया प्लेयर है, और सच ऐसा प्लेयर है कि ETH के सिस्टम में थ्राइव करेगा. जो पॉकेट्स में रन लेता है, जैसे रन निकालता है, डायगनली रन निकालता है वो लाइंस के बीच में से, वो टाइप ऑफ प्लेयर एटीएस सिस्टम में काफी बेनिफिट कर सकता है. बट हाउएवर, अपने पास डॉनी वैन डर बीक के पोजीशन में आगे और पीछे हर जगह पे दो बंदे उससे पहले आ चुके हैं. आगे हमारे पास एरिक्सन और ब्रूनो, पीछे हमारे पास कैसेमीरो एंड पॉसिबल फ्रैग और मैकटोमिने, आइदर वन ऑफ देम. तो काइंड ऑफ लिटिल बिट अनफॉर्चुनेट फॉर डॉनी वैन डर बीक. अभी मेरे को लग रहा है कि अब एंथनी भी आ गया तो विंग पे भी जगह नहीं है, वरना फिर ये रहता कि भाई विंग पे तुम ब्रूनो को एडजस्ट कर लोगे और फिर एरिक्सन और या वैन डर बीक में से किसी को एडजस्ट कर लोगे वहां पे. तो लिटिल बिट अनफॉर्चुनेट, बट देखते हैं कैसा शेप बन के आएगा. बट इसमें मेरे को पर्सनली दुख होगा अगर इतने बढ़िया प्लेयर में से कोई एक प्लेयर अगर कॉम्प्रोमाइज करता है, फिर वो सफर करता है उसकी वजह से. या तो एरिक्सन हो गया वो, या फिर डॉनी वैन डर बीक हो गया. नाउ कमिंग फ्रॉम फ्रेड एंड मैकटोमिने, यार फ्रेड एंड मैकटोमिने का जो डबल पिवट पार्टनरशिप है, इट वाज सपोज टू गिव अस द प्रॉपर मिडफील्ड कवर डिफेंसिवली, स्पेशली जब हमारे फुल बैक आगे जाते हैं. अगर आप दो पिवट खिला रहे हो तो आपके माइंड में है कि भाई हम फुल बैक को आगे भेजेंगे और हमारा डबल पिवट उस फुल बैक का कवर कर लेगा, तो हम पूरा कंप्लीट हाई फुल बैक खेलेंगे. लेकिन जब तक फ्रेड एंड मैकटोमिने रहा है, उनके साथ हमने खेले हैं, हमारे फुल बैक इतने हाई गए ही नहीं है भाई, तो वो किस को कवर करेंगे? Secondly, Fred and McTominay, they were roaming around too close to each other. मतलब वो इतना चिपक के आपस में खेलते हैं ना भाई, कि मतलब रेडियस की तो ऐसे की तैसे कर देते हैं. मतलब फ्रेड जो है मैकटोमिने रेडियस में, मैगवायर के रेडियस में भी आ गया, तो भाई स्पेस का यूटिलाइजेशन हो ही नहीं पा रहा है. एक इतना सा स्पेस में बिल्कुल पूरा भरा हुआ है, इधर मैकटोमिने भी, इधर मैगवायर भी है, इधर फ्रेड भी है. भाई पिच इतना बड़ा है भाई, कहीं और जाके स्पेस लेना, किसी और स्पेस का यूटिलाइज कर, कहीं और कुछ फैल जा भाई. तो ये ड्रॉबैक फ्रेड मैकटोमिने के साथ था. एंड सेकेंडली, देयर पासिंग, बहुत ही शॉर्ट पासिंग करेंगे, जहां से बॉल आएगी उसी को दे देंगे. जैसे आप मेरे को बॉल दोगे, मैं आपको फिर दे दूंगा, आप फिर दोगे, मैं आपको फिर दे दूंगा, मैं बोलूंगा नहीं भाई तू ही खेल, मुझसे ना होगा, तू ही खेल भाई, मैं दे के अपना पत्ता झाड़ लूंगा. तो बट फ्रेड और मैकटोमिने से दोनों में से किसी एक को हम एज अ रोटेशनल प्लेयर खिला सकते हैं, जिसके लिए वो लोग मेरे ओपिनियन में बेस्ट हैं, और उसी रोल उनका होना चाहिए था फर्स्ट एंड फॉरऑल. मतलब हमेशा से उनका रोल वही होना चाहिए था, एक स्क्वाड रोटेशन प्लेयर का. बट हमारे पास बंदा नहीं था, तो हमने उनको फर्स्ट टीम स्टार्टअप में हमें खिलाना पड़ा।
True,
तो
true.
अब नाउ इन दिस मिडफील्ड कैसेमीरो तो आएगा ही आएगा, कैसेमीरो इज परमानेंट, ब्रूनो इज परमानेंट, वो तीसरा स्लॉट है जो कि बचा हुआ है।
Hmm.
अब यूनाइटेड की मिडफील्ड पिछले कुछ सीजन में अच्छी नहीं रही है। अगर एक स्टेबल मिडफील्ड मेरे को दिखती है तो दिखती है मैटिच, हरेरा और पॉग्बा,
Hmm.
जो ओले का हनीमून पीरियड में जो मिडफील्ड आया था। अब ये मिडफील्ड वाज कम्प्लीटली वेल बैलेंस्ड। मैटिच आपको वो होल्डिंग और डिफेंसिव कवर देता था, पॉग्बा आपका अटैकिंग आउटपुट देता था, और आपका हरेरा जो है वर्क फोर्स था, आपका बॉक्स टू बॉक्स मिडफील्डर था, आगे पीछे करता रहता था, पूरी मेहनत करता था पूरे गेम में। तो मेरा अब ये मानना है कि अब कैसेमीरो क्योंकि आ चुका है, हो सकता है कि हम डबल पिवट से इवॉल्व करके एक आगे जाएं एंड सॉर्ट ऑफ रियल टाइप सेटअप हम मिमिक करें। बिकॉज रियल में दे हैड क्रूज मॉडरेट, बीच में कैसेमीरो, अभी हमारे पास एरिक्सन, ब्रूनो, कैसेमीरो।
Hmm.
मतलब देखने में समझने में तो बहुत आसान लगता है कि भाई वो काम कर गया तो ये भी काम करना चाहिए इन थ्योरी, बट अब वट एवर ईटीएच वांट्स टू प्ले, बट आई बिलीव के फ्रेड मैकटोमिने कहीं ना कहीं सी विन कर जाएगा, और दोनों में से कोई ना एक अपना स्टार्ट करेगा ही करेगा, चाहे जो भी हो, बाहर नहीं जाने वाले, इस करेंगे स्टार्ट। भले ही वैंडरबिक सफर कर ले, भले ही एरिक्सन सफर कर ले, बट इनमें से कोई ना कोई एक स्टार्ट करेगा। ये मेरे को ऐसा लगता है।
ट्रू, वेरी ट्रू। काफी इन पर बहुत अच्छा एनालिसिस था। तो अभी मैं इससे अभी रिकवर कर ही रहा हूँ एनालिसिस से। मैं एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था इतना अच्छा एनालिसिस, बट क्विकली
नहीं,
लेट्स मूव ऑन टू
अब बिफोर मूविंग ऑन पार्थ, आप अपना
या
तो बता दो, who would you prefer in the midfield and what do you think of Fred and McTominay?
यार मेरा बहुत सिंपल सा व्यू है। मेरा ये है कि मैं काफी हद तक हदी से अग्री करता हूँ कि कैसेमीरो और ब्रूनो जो है दे आर गोइंग टू बी नेक्स्ट टू अनड्रॉपेबल। एंड कैसेमीरो इन पर्टिकुलर लोगों के बहुत क्वेश्चन मार्क्स थे कि वो मतलब क्या कर पाएगा इन द सेंस कि विल ही बी एबल टू अडेप्ट टू द फिजिकलिटी ऑफ द प्रीमियर लीग एंड the hectic nature and the chaotic nature of the Premier League. बट आई थिंक कि उसके जैसा स्टेलर इंजरी रिकॉर्ड किसी और प्लेयर का मतलब मैंने तो नहीं देखा कि इतना कम इंजर हुआ हो और इतना फिट रहा हो कोई प्लेयर। तो इवन एट 30 आई थिंक ही कैन मेक इट इन द प्रीमियर लीग इजीली, नो डाउट देयर। एंड ब्रूनो हैज बीन मेकिंग इट इन द प्रीमियर लीग एवर सिंस ही अराइव्ड। थोड़ा सा उसका फॉर्म बीच में खराब हो गया था, थोड़ा सा भटक गया था, लेकिन उसको ले आएंगे वापस रास्ते पे अपने
अच्छे
एरिक्सन।
में इधर उधर निकल गया तो
हाँ, तो थर्ड वाला जो स्लॉट है आई थिंक उसके लिए एरिक्सन तो है ही, बट अगेन एरिक्सन अब यू नो हाउ मेनी गेम्स कैन ही प्ले, दैट इज द क्वेश्चन. So when Ericsson is not playing, according to me, the best pick would be Fred, because Fred, I have seen Fred do things under Ralph Rangnick जो मैंने कभी एक्सपेक्ट नहीं किया था फ्रेड से. मुझे लगा था कि फ्रेड तो ट्रोल प्लेयर है, फ्रेड तो बैंटर प्लेयर है, लेकिन फ्रेड इज देयर इज समथिंग देयर. एंड फ्रेड एंड कैसेमीरो इन पर्टिकुलर ब्राजील के लिए दे हैव रियली डन अ वेरी गुड जॉब. एंड उसको अगर मिमिक किया जाए यूनाइटेड में, एटलीस्ट कोशिश की जाए मिमिक करने की, तो आई थिंक कुछ तो हो ही जाएगा. बिकॉज एरिक्सन कांट प्ले 60 गेम्स अ सीजन. he's already a patient of a heart disease, so इसलिए I mean, Fred should be there.
see, the midfield options we have, no one needs to play 60 games a season. No one.
Mm-hmm.
We have to rotate, and ETH will rotate. Same goes with our whole squad, but especially the midfield, we have options this season, especially because I don't think any one of them would go anywhere this summer, especially. So we will have options. We need to rotate. We need to use them wisely.
True that. So Delvin has been waiting for quite a while now. I'd like to hear his inputs now. So, bro, what are your thoughts on the future of Fred and McTominay in particular? Do you think they should be utilized for cup games, or do you think they could also be used as rotational options once the fixture congestion hits in? What are your thoughts?
First thoughts, rotation options from now, especially Scott McTominay. Now we take the last two wins, for example, the win against Liverpool and the win against Southampton. McTominay was asked to do a particular job by Ten Hag, and that job was breaking up play.
True.
None of the attacking moves went through McTominay. McTominay wasn't given a job to pass. He wasn't given the responsibility to do the line breaking passes. He had only one job in both the games, that was do the dirty work. It was that simple, and that is what McTominay is good at. Okay, the only thing that he's not good at is the passing, and he only turns up with his passing and scoring only during Leeds United games. That's the only time I've seen him turn up with attacking attributes. He turns into prime Zidane whenever he plays Leeds United. That's the only time I've seen him go up and down with the intensity that he shows. Coming to Fred, like you pointed out, Fred and Casemiro in Brazil are a very brilliant partnership, a very stable partnership, where Casemiro is the one who normally stays back and Fred is the one who takes that advanced box-to-box position. Like how Saimbai said, Fred's main role is to get into the box and be a part of those passing triangles that Erik ten Hag so advocates about. So for me, McTominay becomes a very useful option for us in Carabao Cup games, in FA Cup games, and in the latter stages of the Europa League group stages. Definitely, McTominay will not play in the first 2 or 3 games of the group stages until and unless our qualification is secure. Because right now, for a team that is still searching its best identity under Ten Hag, McTominay certainly isn't the solution. He isn't the solution, neither is Fred on his own. So it has to be either one or the other. Now, this one player who seems to be as good as out, but will get an outside chance for sure, has to be Van de Beek. To be really honest at this point, I feel sorry for the guy. There's no questions about that. But when given his opportunity in pre-seasons, he was, I would say, very unspectacular, you know. He was just getting along, doing the bare necessities. And in the midfield that we had last year, maybe doing the bare necessities would have got him through. But under a new manager, under a new system, a system which he seemingly knows, okay? It is not a system that he doesn't know. He's not been up to the mark what he was in Ajax. We have not seen the performances that made Real Madrid want him before us under Ten Hag in pre-season. We've just not. He's just got along those 45 minutes. He's just got along. We've not seen him do what he's actually good at. So I don't think the only person who's dodgy in this situation is Van de Beek, which is ironic considering the fact that he's the only one who will be the most comfortable and stylistic fit in this ETH midfield. And also considering the fact that he's from the Ajax school, he's proficient in multiple positions, blah, 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 and so on. I've just not seen him. And the biggest indictment of Donny van de Beek was in the preseason. I think if you all must have noted it, that Ten Hag came out and said that Donny's best position is false nine. Okay, and he played Eriksen as false nine against Brighton. So I think there is a point where Ten Hag doesn't rate Van de Beek anymore, or I'm not sure whether he's part of the plans. He's just there to make up the numbers at this point of time. So while we do have options, and for a change, we have good options. Not like the options are bad compared to the seasons of the past where we've had to call on some really weird combinations. You know, we've had a past his prime Matic who gave us one game of brilliant 90 minutes and then used to make us wonder that, oh, if we only bought him 5 years earlier. That's what Matic used to provide us. So for me, it's Casemiro, Fred for sure, Bruno, yes. Eriksen can play 70 minutes at a stretch for sure, because in the past 2 games, he's got absolutely gassed. And you could literally see that he was glad when he was being substituted because he couldn't run anymore. He was absolutely knackered by both the times he was substituted. Why he dictated the game in the first half in both the games against Liverpool and Southampton, but then he couldn't sustain that intensity. And it's not an indictment considering the fact that he's had a near-death experience. He has a defib on him. So give him more time, give him a little bit more those easier fixtures, you know, in the Europa League to get his rhythm back. He's still not found his feet. So I still like our options. And it will be very interesting to see what midfield combos or what midfield patterns will Erik ten Hag use. Considering he has a world-class DM, he has 2 more than brilliant creators on the ball as well as off the ball. And he has 2 solid, if not spectacular, bench options. So 3 positions, 5 players. It's going to be a very interesting season for our midfield.
All right. Very interesting insights, guys. And I think we have covered every single thing. But just before we wind up, there is a little game that I like to play, which is called Keep, Sell, or Loan. And I'm going to say some players, and you guys are going to tell me whom are we going to keep, whom are we going to sell, and whom are we going to loan. So we'll start with Sam Bhai. Sam Bhai, what do you think of Garner? And
Keep,
yeah, first go with Garner.
keep.
Keep. All right. And what are your thoughts on I'm forgetting the name of that player. Do we still
Ivan?
have it?
No, we sold Levitt, I guess.
No, we don't have Levitt now. All right. So
No.
what do you think about McTominay then? Should we be selling him anytime soon?
No.
Okay.
Anytime soon, maybe, but
Yeah,
not as of now.
definitely not this season because I mean we need him as a rotational option this season. But how about next summer window?
Sell.
All right. And what if the Fred Casemiro partnership does not work out? In that case, would you still like to keep Fred as a more advanced option rather than providing support to Casemiro, or would you like to sell him?
I won't sell Fred. He would be a rotational player even in the coming seasons. I won't sell Fred.
Okay, and last but not the least, Hannibal Mabry. That was a player I was forgetting the name of. He has
Keep.
gone right now to Birmingham City on loan. So what are your thoughts on him? I mean, you said keep, but do you think that he could be recalled at some point in the season because the World Cup is around the corner, the congestion is going to hit in?
I don't want him to be recalled because he will get playing time there, most probably.
Mm-hmm.
So he would develop his game there. If we recall him, he would be on bench. We all know that he won't get that much game time here. So not recall him, keep him there. If you want, we can loan him again next season, and he will be developed. He will be a good player, in my opinion.
All right, fair enough. Hadi, what are your thoughts on Garner, Mabry, McTominay, and Fred?
मैक्टोमिने फ्रेड एज अ होल या अलग अलग?
अलग अलग.
तुम जो जैसे समझना चाहो, ज्यादातर लोग होली मानते हैं.
एक के साथ दूसरा फ्री. एक बेचोगे तो दूसरा फ्री. 20 मिलियन में दोनों को बेच दो. तो स्टार्टिंग फ्रॉम गार्डनर को मैं लोन कर दूंगा क्योंकि मेरे पास इतना भीड़ हो गई है मिडफील्ड में कि गार्डनर की जगह मेरे को दिख नहीं रही है. मेरे को ऑलरेडी 2-3 बंदे हैं जिनकी जगह नहीं दिख रही, तो मैं गार्डनर को कैसे खिला लूंगा? तो गार्डनर को भाई जरा लोन पे भेज दो, थोड़ा खेल लेगा बेचारा, डेवलप कर लेगा. उसके बाद फिर मैं आया हानीबाल पे. हानीबाल से मैंने इतना कुछ देखा नहीं है, तो मैं इतना उसको बुलाने में एक्साइटेड नहीं रहूंगा. उसको रहने दो रोल पे, लोन पे रहने दो, और लोन पे खेलेगा, वो थोड़ा डेवलप करेगा, अच्छा रहेगा. और रही बात वर्ल्ड कप में मेरे को लग रहा है कि मेरे पास कवर है रीजनेबल हानीबाल के अलावा भी, जो कि मैं कवर कर लूंगा. उसके बाद आता है फ्रेड मैक्टोमिने में से मेरे को एक को बेचना है इस सीजन. अगर मेरे हाथ में होता मैं बेच देता. मैं तो 5 रुपए में पिछली वीडियो में मैक्टोमिने को बेच के आया हूँ. मैं तो बेच देता मैक्टोमिने को. फ्रेड को मैं नहीं बेचता क्योंकि फ्रेड को मैंने लिया है 50 मिलियन देके, बहुत महंगा मैंने फ्रेड को लिया है. अगर मैं उसको बेच दूंगा तो मेरा नुकसान होगा. मैक्टोमिने मेरे को फ्री मिला है, तो मैक्टोमिने को बेचूंगा तो उसमें कोई नुकसान का चांस ही नहीं है. तो इसलिए मैक्टोमिने को बेचूंगा.
And Delvin, what about you?
So I would loan McTominay this season in Jan, keeping in mind the fact that Scotland have not qualified for the World Cup, and he would be there with us because we have more options. So we have the tried and tested usual suspects that everyone has spoken about. Another concern is Fred will enter his last 12 months of his contract next season, I guess, if I'm not mistaken. Next season will be his final 12 months with the club. So it depends on whether we extend him or we do not, or we let him go as a free agent, which has surprisingly been our mantra for midfielders for the past 2 years. We are letting midfielders go on free transfers. So we have to wait and see on Fred. I would keep it, yes, of course, but then Fred from next season would be a squad option because I'm 100% damn sure that Ten Hag will look for quality midfield additions next year who would walk straight into the team right before preseason. Apart from the midfielders that we have, like Hadi pointed out, and Mejbri has not been that sensational apart from that 10 minutes where he just fouled. It was the bare necessity. We had to save face. So the foul that he did was taken a little pretty out of context. And surprisingly, that is what a lot of United people do to our academy graduates. We tend to put them on a pedestal, and then when they do not deliver, we are the first people to slander them and throw shade at them. So we only put them up और हम ही उनको नीचे ला देते हैं, जो हमारे तरफ से गलत अप्रोच है. Because I always believe that जो club struggle कर रहा हो, they always look more towards their academy. आप अगर अभी लिवरपूल को देखो, उनके लास्ट 4-5 सालों में कितने academy graduates फर्स्ट टीम में आए? ट्रेंट अलेक्जेंडर आर्नल्ड, कर्टिस जोन्स, खाली दो. मैन सिटी में भी अभी सिर्फ फिल फोर्डन ही आया है, उसके अलावा और कोई नहीं है जो रेगुलर फर्स्ट टीम पोजीशन स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं. Chelsea have won things, yes, but लेकिन उनका managerial chopping and changing की वजह से there are still young players who've now become first team squad members. You see Tottenham भी almost बहुत सारे लोगों को उन्होंने first team debuts दिए हैं. अभी मैं गिनना नहीं जाऊंगा तो फिर बहुत है, they are more than United also. So the two options that I am very interested to see are Charlie Savage and Zidane Iqbal, who had great pre-seasons with us. Both of them had great pre-season with us, showed maturity well beyond their tender years, and they looked the part. They looked the part that they had the composure, they had the ability to carry the ball in tough situations, and they knew to pick the sensible pass. They did the simple things absolutely spot on, which is something most of our midfield hasn't done just yet. The established midfields, I'm not talking about the new incomings. So I would.
That's fair
Yes,
enough.
so,
That's
yeah.
fair enough. The reason why I didn't include Iqbal and Savage in this whole loan keep and sell thing is because I don't think that they are ready just yet to be
No,
incorporated.
because
Team.
because I seen a report saying that Ten Hag is a big fan of Iqbal in particular.
Yeah.
So there has been reports coming that Ten Hag will play him in the Europa League games. That's a bold statement and that's a bold revelation if true. That's a bold revelation. And if at all things don't work out the way Ten Hag envisions, he'll be sent out on loan in January. So there is a very realistic chance that he gets to be a part of the first team, either in the Carabao Cup or in the Europa League games. That's for certain. So that is the reason why I put Zidane Iqbal's name in the forefront. Yes, we all know that he still needs time to develop. Definitely, yes. But then keeping in mind what Ten Hag feels and what the reports that have been coming out regarding his particular immediate and short-term future with the club, I think it's fair to say that Zidane will be a part of the first team in the coming months until at least the World Cup starts. And then they will have a wait-and-see approach whether they loan him or whether they keep him with the first team squad or not.
Okay. All right. Yes, Hadi, quickly, please. We would like to be winding up now because the video is already very long. Yeah. So go ahead.
Yeah, okay. So one question for Delvin. Delvin, do you think if Ronaldo stays, will he play in the Europa League like ever?
I would want him to go, but then if he's throwing a
if he stays, let's say he stays.
Yeah, so if he's we know that he's going to stay against his wishes. He doesn't want to be there. It's very evident. His last 20 minutes against Southampton was a pretty fair indication that he doesn't want to be there. So if he doesn't want to be there, then might as well. I remember when he was there in United for the first time, he said, I was being kept as a slave. Let's make him a slave for real this season. Let's keep him against his wishes. You might as well. I don't see anyone else paying his wages this season. We are the ones stuck with him.
Nobody.
For better or for worse. Yeah, exactly.
Nobody will pay his wages.
So let's fulfill his prophecy.
True.
What he said 15 years ago.
Yeah.
Let's keep him as a slave. I don't mind. Because this is a situation that is his own doing. The club wasn't responsible for it. He knew well in advance that we weren't getting Champions League. You can't come and I think he was the chief reason why we didn't get Darwin Núñez. He's one of the chief reasons why we didn't get Darwin Núñez at the start. Because we were hot favorites to get Darwin Núñez. Hot favorites. Like everything was done. Ten Hag was a fan, so on and so forth. Yeah.
Just one thing. This is a very good discussion. This is a very hot debate, but I think we are drifting off topic here. Our topic was to cover midfield.
Yeah.
We will be talking about Ronaldo more in the coming videos. We will be talking about our entire forward line, in fact, with the addition of Antony now, what it means for Rashford, what it means for Sancho, where he will be playing, and the works. So anyway, guys,
don't forget your favorite Elanga.
Yeah, of course, he's still my favorite. I love that bacha. So anyway, I think we have covered everything right here, and thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. Thank you so much, guys, for doing this with me. And we will be back very soon with the Game Week 6 previews. And
please subscribe to us. Please subscribe and please like and comment.
Yeah, please do that, guys. Chalo, see you in the next video. Take care, guys.
GG, amigo.
Bye, guys.